Hey guys, NeverSkull here today, and today we're going to be talking about the new changes coming with the Rise of Iron. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off with the weapons, we have auto rifles. Auto rifles now have a lower magazine size for the highest rate of fire auto rifles. This includes all the weapons in the Doctrine Passing family. They have also gotten an increased damage to middle rate of fire auto rifles by 1.5%, which means you might be getting killed in the Crucible by auto rifles again. Moving on to pulse rifles, we have an increased rate of fire for Hake Pulse Rifle Limiter D. And we also have an increased damage for middle rate of fire family pulse rifles, such as New One's Mercy, by only 2%, so it's a slight change in pulse rifles. Now to our secondaries. We start off with shotguns, and they have gotten a reduced spread angle penalty on shotguns with the perk Full Auto, but the invective was not affected by this. Now, in the main nerf, and that is sniper rifles. Sniper rifles have now reduced damage on the middle to high impact sniper rifles by 6.95%. This includes their 1000-yard safe family. The biggest and what I think the stupidest change in this is that you can no longer snipe high armor guardians in their super. This includes blade dancers, stormcallers, soft resers, hammers, and guardians with blessing of light. The only sniper that was not affected by this change is the No Land Beyond. There is now a reduced target acquisition for LDRs, longbows, and also an increased strength for flinch when players take damage when scoped in from 30% to 50%. Now, I really don't like this at all, because this means if you have your super propped, you can't get sniped out of it. I mean, how can you contest with a super now, unless you have your super? It's just so stupid. Like, in Trials of Osiris, when you hear a super go off now, you can't contest it, you need to run away. So it basically means whoever has the super first, you win the round. Now, sidearms have gotten a slight buff on all sidearms. They have gotten a unified damage. There is a minor extension of damage fallout point for sidearms across all board. This is like 0.5 meters, and a slight increase of stability for all sidearms and for all PvE players. This is a good one for you. There is a bonus for about 20% to 30% damage in PvE depending on the enemy. Now, moving on to fusion rifles. Fusion rifles were completely untouched, so good luck to you fusion rifle players. Now, rocket launchers. Rocket launchers have extended damage fall-off distance on cluster bomb perk explosions, and the perk grenades and horseshoes proc radius is reduced to 1 meter. It was 1.3 meters. It's gotten reduced 0.3 meters. Now, the stupidest change is, the truth was not affected by this, which also means everyone on heavy round will be switching to truth. Great, how fun is that? Machine guns, on the other hand, have only gotten a slight buff, and that is damage on the highest rate of fire machine guns now do 4% more damage, so you will notice the difference a little bit. Now, moving on to perks, we have Take a Knee. This perk now activates after 0.5 seconds of crouching and adds flinch reduction from 25% and increase aim down sight speed by 25%. Now to the Exhume perk. The Exhume perk now adds only 5 seconds to their time, which brings it to 15 seconds, so it's not a big change to the perk. Now for the Casket perk. Now, after each melee kill, automatically reloads a portion of the magazine, which is pretty good for shotguns. Surplus has gotten a slight buff, which now increases the carry ammo capacity. Grave Robber perk now increases proc chance to 25%, it was 20%. Guerrilla Fighter got a big buff and now increases stability and range bonuses by 200%. Think of this as a Hammer Forge perk and perfect balance when the perk is activated. And finally, for the perks, we have Unflinching, and that is now a 15% reduction flinch. It was 25%, so it got a nerf. Now for the exotic weapons. We have a huge nerf to the Universe Remote, with the exotic perk range bonus reduced by 75%. And no longer guarantees maximum shotgun range, which is fantastic. That gun was so overpowered. And also a slight buff which increases the rate of fire for the gun. The Thorn's range has now been reduced by 25%, which is fantastic. That gun was so annoying, I hated it so much, it just destroyed the game for me. The Drake's Promise has now gotten an increased damage by 8% and also adds 3 bullets to the magazine, which is another burst, which is pretty cool, I guess. And now moving on to all you PvE players. And that is the Touch of Malice's self-damage infliction now removes Blessing of Light as soon as you shoot the last bullet, which means you can no longer spray your last bullet with Blessing of Light. It will automatically remove it. So you got to change your auric strategy. In the general Crucible, legendary engrams have been removed from the Crucible pool. So Crucible legendary weapons will drop more often, which is pretty good. Shaders such as the Beowulf, Cicero, and Gilgamesh shader can once be acquired by completing Crucible matches. The Crucible Quartermaster weekly's bounties have now been removed, and the free stealing treasure from weekly Crucible and Postmaster will be discontinued. But you can still get them from the Prison of Elders and buy them from Everest. Moving to the game types, we have the changes in 3v3. And that change is that you get slightly less heavy ammo per brick. And Elimination Trials of Osiris heavy ammo will only appear at the center location of the map. And finally, for Rift, you now have an added overshield on player spawn to cut down on spawn camping. And also an extended runner damage resistance when picking up the spark by a few seconds. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you guys liked it. This was my first talking video, so I was a bit nervous. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Shaders in the Crucible such as... What am I saying? Can I even read a script? Oh! Shaders such as the freaking... Oh my... Ugh! Legendary engrams in the Crucible pool have now been removed. And legendary weapons will drop significantly.